Now the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Did everybody get a chance to read them? And do we have a motion to accept them as is?
Motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay. Everyone, aye.
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 Any nays? Okay, motion carries. Now, consideration of public comments. Those wishing to address the Municipal Utilities Commission need to request permission in advance. Did we get anybody requesting to address us at all?
No.
Okay, so there's no issue there. New business, review and recommendation of a request for water service to unsubdivided parcel 320.03.194 E&G 20.0032, which is NAZK Properties LLC of Surprise, Arizona, has submitted the request for water service to the unsubdivided parcel at 1737 Airway. They intend to build a Culver's restaurant. So, does anybody have any questions or?
I think Greg's gonna present something.
Yeah.
I can throw up the, let me throw up the map here showing the, here's kind of the map showing the area of the property. It's located off north side of Airway, immediately east of the Cracker Barrel restaurant, between Stockton Hill Road and North Glen Road. It's unsubdivided property. It's currently about 4.2 acres in size. As has been indicated, they intend to build a Culver's restaurant. Their plan called for a future restaurant or some other building on the east half of the parcel, with the Culver's going more on the west half of the parcel. There is a site plan in your packet. The only thing, this is fairly routine. The only thing that's not routine is there currently does not exist a water line in Glen Road. There is a water line in Airway Avenue, which crosses the frontage of the property. But there is not in Glen Road, and our regulations, the city regulations, we typically require that extension be made at the time of development. And so that would be our recommendation from staff. It would be that the water service be approved with the condition that the extension in Glen Road be made in accordance with section 7.2 of the utility regulations. So that essentially is a summary of it, and I'm happy to answer any questions that there might be.
Greg, this is Pat. So I've noticed they're already doing dirt work out there and cutting the pad. So I'm assuming there's some kind of permit issued on this. And so is their request to not have to do that extension at this time? Am I understand that correctly?
So there is a permit that's been there is a permit that's been issued for the building, and they've been advised that this condition could be made, and they haven't made a request to waive it, or they haven't given me a position on whether they would like to have it be waived or whether they intend to put it in with the project. But they have been advised that we were bringing this to the commission with the recommendation that extension be made as required by the regulations. But again, I have not heard their position one way or the other on it.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Greg, this is Mike. How are they planning on getting the water line across there?
So they're actually planning, their building is going to go, and I can maybe move down to their site plan here. Their building is going to go more on the west side of the property, and then they've got this remainder that's undeveloped, which they had shown at one time, I believe, as a future restaurant pad of some sort. So for what they're contemplating for the culverts is they intend to come into the Airway Avenue water line and make a connection there for their project.
So
You're
in the-
okay with that?
Well, I mean, it's going to involve cutting Airway Avenue and likely reducing traffic. It's not ideal, but we're okay with it. They'll have to likely do night work to do that, to get that done, but yeah, we're generally okay with them doing that.
So if they were to develop these pads on the east side, where would that water need to come from, that future extension, or would that also be available to Airway?
Well, at that point, I think we would certainly recommend that they come off the Glen Road water line at that point. If the remaining property develops, we would make that recommendation that they come off they make the extension in Glen Road and come off that line. I mean, they can make the extension now and we would still be okay with the Airway connection just because it suits them. It's closer to their building. If they ever want to split the other property off, which was talked about, they did talk about creating a plat which would split the property in two. So the Culvers they would have to reserve an easement of some sort at that point to have their water come off Glen Road. So
Gotcha. So if they were to sell those properties, then the new owners would be required to come off of Glen Road. Am I understanding that correctly?
yeah, I mean, based on the way our regulations read, the extensions required now, they might have an argument for making it in the future for when the remaining property develops. They've not made that argument. However, that's something they could. This will have to go to the city council for final approval, so they could make that argument to the council. They've not made that argument at this point, though.
Thank you.
Mike, this is Shane. Having them input that water line right now could open up potential for the other lots that are undeveloped right now to be developed quicker, couldn't it? Because then they'd have access to a water line. The ones behind it, like that would be probably to the north of this lot and all that for future development, that whole area. Yeah, those areas.
Yeah. So if I'm sorry, if you're asking me, yes. That would it would make it available, and if these areas develop, they would still have to extend it across their frontage.
Right.
But it would certainly make it that much closer available to them. Yes.
And the other question I have is the Glen Road extension. They don't have to break up Airway or right now to do it, to tie into it, right? It's already cut off enough to where it just.
That is correct. I'll zoom in here, and so when Airway was paved, there was a stub out for water made into the Glen Road right away. So they would not have to cut Airway for that.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Does anyone have any other questions? No? Okay, do I have a motion to have them, that this will be acceptable by us for this to go to city council, that they have to input the water line?
I would make a motion to accept staff's recommendations on the extension for Glen.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All the ayes?
Aye. Hey,
Any nays? Okay, the motion carries. Now, any announcements by commission members? No, okay. All right, I guess we adjourn. till the next one. Hopefully it's live instead of the Christmas.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn? Okay,
Second.
second, Mike. All the ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Nope. All right, everyone be safe and enjoy.